going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these beautiful, delicious, smoky, plump, red smoked venison sausage. Coming up, one of the most frequent requests I get is to do more stuff with wild game, and I thought this was going to be the year I got my first deer, but it just wasn't in the cards. So hopefully by next season I'll be able to get myself a rifle and all trained up and find some land and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, I got my hands on a leg of a deer, meaning today is the day we're going to be making some venison sausage. That's right, folks, today is the day, and it is going to be delicious. This is some venison. I got this leg from my buddy Jonathan Wilkins of Black Duck Revival. You may remember him from the catfishing episode a couple months back, but he was down in Texas doing some hunting about a month back, and he stopped by to do a podcast with me because he's got a new podcast, a Black Duck Revival podcast. Be sure to check that out. I believe I'm episode 2, and I traded him a Chud chimney for this nice leg of venison. So what we're gonna do now is debone it, which is pretty simple because we're making sausage, so you don't have to do anything too pretty. Beautiful color on that meat, nice and dark. Smelling good. So the name of the game here is just, pull off all the meat. Try and remove any silver skin or tendons that I find along the way. But again, this is all getting ground up, so I don't have to be too particular about it. But I'm just gonna follow the bone here until we've got a wonderful pile of lean venison. Still a little bit frozen in the middle, which is a good thing because this is going right back into the freezer anyway. And just like any other sausage, I'm going to cube this up into little 1-inch cubes. And that's going to help for 2 different reasons. First and foremost, it'll freeze quicker because we want this really nice and cold before we grind it up to make sure we have a nice clean grind. But also, more practically, so it'll fit into the meat grinder a little bit easier. Man, the color on this meat is just gorgeous. Beautiful. He got this down in South Texas on Loncito's property. Loncito runs Peaceful Pork, which is where I get a lot of the pork I cook on this channel, and all the pork we cook at Leroy and Lewis. That's where we get our whole hogs from, a few hours south of me. So hopefully pretty soon here, Evan and I will get our plans together to go down there and get some deer of our own. Probably get a hog while we're down there too. And again, I'm going to remove any of this sinew that I can. Good amount of meat on this leg here. Pretty happy about that. I was worried that there wasn't going to be enough meat and I'd have to cut it with some pork, but we're going to try and go all venison on this one. Well, except for some pork fat, of course, because this is a pretty lean beast. And there we have it. I was going to take this meat too, but I think I'm going to leave it on there and smoke this bone off and have a little snack here in a minute. Man, more meat than I was expecting. Cool. Let's weigh it out. Oh yeah. 7 pounds, perfect. To that 7 pounds of venison, we're gonna make that an even 10 pounds with 3 pounds of fat. You can use beef fat, whatever you got, but your sausage definitely needs a fat content. Otherwise it won't be juicy. All right, good deal. Into the freezer this goes to chill out, and then we'll grind it up. Whoa, for our meat to chill, let's go ahead and get our spices ready. Starting with some kosher salt, some pink curing salt, some black pepper, some red chili flakes for a little kick, some granulated garlic, some paprika, and the gamey taste of venison goes really well with a lot of herbs and bold flavors. So now we're gonna go in with some dried sage, a little bit of some dried rosemary, a little bit of celery seed, some cumin, and some dry basil. And of course our binder, which is some milk powder. And just get that all nice and mixed up. Beautiful. This video is brought to you by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered right to your door, making cooking easy, fun, and affordable. If you live a hectic lifestyle like I do, having someone else do all the shopping for you, getting all of the ingredients specifically for the dish you're trying to make, proportioning them out for you, doing a lot of the prep ahead of time, and delivering it right to your door is not only super convenient and cost effective, but it can also help you eat more sustainably. That's because they only give you exactly what you need. So instead of having to buy a whole jug of Italian seasoning or something like that, they give you just what you need for the current recipe. And a meal kit like this can cut down food waste by 25% when compared to traditional methods of grocery shopping. Not to mention, all their cardboard boxes are made of completely recycled materials. With thousands of meals and dozens of meal plans to choose from, whether you're pescatarian, vegetarian, meat and veg, or just looking for something quick and easy for a weeknight meal, HelloFresh has something for everybody. They also have a lot of health-conscious meal plans if you're looking to slim down this new year. And I gotta say, these seasonal recipes are real nice because it is a chilly night out here, and this is gonna be some nice, hearty, warm soup. Very convenient because I don't happen to have any mushroom stock concentrate on hand. And if I bought a whole bottle, it would likely go bad before I used it all. And just like that, soup is done. Oh, forgot the peas. Gotta have your vegetables, kids. Ooh, little cheese on top. Don't mind if I do. And just like that, our creamy tomato soup with pork sausage is done. But probably the best part about HelloFresh is that all these meals are absolutely delicious. That's good soup. So if you're looking to regain control of your food choices, expand your culinary repertoire with more seasonal dishes, or spend a little less time in the grocery store and get a little extra help with your weekly meal prep, head over to hellofresh.com/chudsbbq16 for up to 16 free meals plus 3 surprise gifts. Again, that's hellofresh.com/chudsbbq16 for up to 16 free meals plus 3 surprise gifts. Link in description. Thank you, HelloFresh. No more light. Our meat is sufficiently chilled. Maybe a little too chilled. But that's just the way we want it. So now, all we need to do is add our seasoning mix and just try and get that as evenly coated as we can. Just gonna help with distribution evenly throughout the sausage. You know the drill from here, folks. I'm using the coarse die, as I usually do. All right, all the meat has gone through once, and today, I'm gonna go for a double grind. Just because I feel like it. Double grind is just going to give you a bit tighter of a texture. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a coarse sausage, sometimes I'm in the mood for a tight one. But it's not going to be like an emulsified sausage or anything like that. But this is going to ensure that all the fat is evenly distributed, all the spices are evenly dispersed. Actually, one thing I really like to do is do a double grind and then periodically just throw a handful of this into the bowl. That way you kind of get the best of both worlds. Makes for a good sausage. And there are many different styles of sausage you can make with venison. You know, you can make chorizo. I almost made a deerizo video, but for my first venison sausage, I thought I'd keep it pretty basic, pretty simple, just some standard herbs and spices, and we'll see how it comes out. But in the future, I'm sure I'll do maybe some snack sticks with some venison or something a little more exciting. And there we have it. All of our meat is nicely ground up. So now we're gonna go in with our liquid component, which this time around is just some plain old water. And we're gonna get in there and mix this until it is nice and tacky and well bound. Smelling good though, just like kneading a dough. Get it? Kneading a dough? Sorry. A very tight dough. Man, this is a lot stickier than I was expecting. But after a bit of kneading, this is looking good. Comes up as one big blob, which is what we're looking for. So now it's time to case it up. We're going with some regular old hog casings today. You can get these at your local butcher shop. You can also get them online or any hunting store or outdoor store like that. I even see them at the grocery store from time to time. You gotta check like the ham section. Simply enough, folks. We're just gonna tie off the end, y'all. Snip the tip and case away. And as always, you can make these as big or as small as you like. I'm gonna just go average wiener size. And I'm making sure to case these nice and tight. That way we don't have to go through and prick our sausages. Prick. And that way our sausages come out nice and plump. But you don't have to go link by link. You can make one big rope. You could do, you know, those big horseshoe links. But this is what works best for me. That way I can store them easier, you know, vac seal them off in 4-packs, give them away to friends, families, neighbors, that kind of stuff. Or just keep them in the freezer for whenever I want venison snassages. God, it is cold making sausage outside in the wintertime. I tell you what, ice cold meat on a mid-30s night, but it's all worth it at the end. But let me know in the comments down below what you think I should do next with game meat. If there's a specific venison sausage you want me to try and make, or dish or something like that, because I'd really like to get into more stuff like this. Hopefully next year I can go get myself my own deer and turn the whole thing into a whole sausage series. That'd be pretty fun. Must say these links are looking nice and plump. I think we can get one more out of there. Look at that, a whole tube full without popping a casing. It's a Christmas miracle. And there we have it. Batch number 1, done. And there we have it. All 10 pounds, all cased up. Tie this end off. And there we go. A whole bunch of beautiful venison sausage. Ooh, it is getting nippy out here. All these links have been sliced up, and now I'm gonna put these in my fridge uncovered just like this on a wire rack to chill out overnight. That's really gonna help dry out the skin, let all the salt and all the curing salts do their work. And tomorrow, we'll smoke them off. One overnight later, and these sausages are looking real nice. As you can see, they are nice and plump, ends stayed closed, casings feel nice and tacky, and I think these are ready to go on the smoker. As you can see, the smoker's already fired up because I just finished smoking some beef jerky. But we're doing a typical cold smoke, so I put some charcoal in there and just 1 or 2 dense logs just to keep the temperatures below or around 150 degrees. That way we get some really nice color on these sausages without rendering out any of the fat or cooking the meat too much. Because if we cook these at like 300 degrees, they'd be done in 30 minutes and they wouldn't have enough time to really let that smoke adhere and penetrate into the sausage, giving us that nice smoky flavor, but more importantly, that red color. So on these go. And I'm just gonna burn a nice fire. I'm not too concerned about clean smoke or dirty smoke at a cold smoke because it's really not long enough of a cook for that to make a difference. And that dirty smoke gives sausage really nice color. And don't forget little coal at the end. I'm gonna cold smoke these for probably 3 or 4 hours and we'll check back in. 4 hours later, these weens are looking nice and dark and it's time to pull them off the pit. Ooh, beautiful color on there. About to shrink up the casing, stop the cooking process. In they go. Once these are nice and chilled, this is a perfect time to pop them in a vac seal bag, put them in your freezer, or give them to your buddy. It's also a great time to clean your ween. But to see how these came out, I'm gonna throw a few of these back on, bump the pit up to about 275, and see how these came out. Boot snake! About 30, 40 minutes later, these links are done. They are feeling incredibly plump. I think I might have popped one. Set it down too hard. But as you can see, beautiful looking wiener. Very firm, very plump. I feel like they're about to pop. Ow, they're hot. Let these cool down for just a moment and then we will slice on in. Without further ado, I think it's time to slice into one of these bad boys and see how it came out. But first of all, look at how red and dark these are. So cool. The color of venison is so nice. A lot darker than pork or beef or something. It's almost purple looking. Ooh, God, that slices up so nice. Incredibly firm texture on these. And there we have it. Beautiful, nice, juicy link. And those fat pockets are pretty cool. Let's give it a taste and see how it came out. Mmm. Oh, that's completely different. That's really tasty. It's got that gamey taste. It kind of reminds me of duck in a weird way. That is so unique. Nice and smoky. Beautiful color on there too. It's got a really tight texture to it. Much more tighter and more emulsified than like a beef or pork that's been double ground. And nice and juicy, of course. Man, that flavor is so unique. I haven't had a venison sausage in a long time. Very good though. Gamey, kind of earthy. The herbs are nice, but they're subtle. Subtle heat as well. Yes, it's a very well-rounded sausage. Nothing wrong with that. Kind of want to see a cross-section on this thing. Oh yeah. Big chunks of fat in there. Very tasty sausage. Ooh. I must say, folks, these are some of the more plump red weens I've ever made. This is an interesting one for me. I've never made a venison sausage before, and I'm pretty proud with how they came out. As far as sausage goes, they're nice and plump, nice and smoky, nice and red. Flavor is very well-rounded, perfectly seasoned, and I'm pretty sure they're nice and snappy. Yup, I'd say so. And that game flavor is pretty new to me, but it's super tasty. I'm definitely gonna be making more of these. But now I understand why everyone says you can really go bold with the flavor of this. I think some like orange zest or something kind of crazy would go really well in a sausage like this. But let me know down in the comments below if you have any suggestions for some venison sausages or other game sausages that you'd like to see, or if you want to see more game sausages in general, because there's nothing wrong with that. God, they smell good. But without further ado, I think it's time for the official taste test. Honestly, the darkness and the snappy smokiness and tightness of this reminds me a lot of a kielbasa. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic venison sausage. I highly recommend giving this recipe a try if you got plenty of venison lying around, because sausage making is a great way to use up all of that meat. But if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. Drop a comment down below letting me know what you want to see me cook next. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making these videos. If you do give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I love to see what y'all are cooking. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!